All right, what is up? We're back. The gang. This is the Race Brain crew now. Jack Bauer, Michelle Navarro, little old me. Like throughout the last years we've been figuring it out. We've had different people, but like this is the crew at this point.
This is the crew that you want to call.
You looking at the title, it says Newcomers. The three of us are not newcomers.
Yeah, OGs at this point. OGs. That's right. As Jack said, on today's show, we're going to talk about the newcomers. Because so far, it's as of today's recording, it's October 13th. We have had some impressive newcomers in the HYROX space. We've already had a couple of new people in our first Elite 15 in Hamburg. And we've got some names that are popping up onto the leaderboards that we haven't seen before, and that's exciting. So today we're going to break it down. Who do you have to watch for? And no North American bias here, because we have Mr. European OCR himself, Jack Bauer, making sure that we are covering the international landscape as well.
Might even throw in a little APAC.
Yeah, throw in a little APAC. APAC. We're going to cover Australia and Asia.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna cover both. No race brain controversy this season. It's gonna be a good time. But we were just talking before the show, so I do want to get your thoughts. Yesterday, we had the Chicago Marathon. Jack already admitted that he stayed up late watching some Spartan race, as Jack Bauer does. But Michelle was locked in. Michelle,
Yes.
your thoughts on that
I was
marathon?
locked in so much so that I did my long run while holding my phone so I could listen to the live feed. I wasn't watching it. I was listening to it because I was
Let's be honest. It's probably just as good.
It definitely was. But yeah, I was just really excited. I've been following both Clayton Young and Connor Mance. I was actually able to see them run New York last year, and kind of since then, since I saw them in person, I've been very into what their racing has been like. And Clayton does a great job with his YouTube channel, so I've been following all of his stuff, and you can kind of see Connor here and there. And now you're starting to see some YouTube of his as well. He's incredible, and that was an awesome race for him yesterday. Very exciting to watch.
The coverage was fantastic. Running is definitely hot right now. As my good buddy Dawson always likes to say, he was running before it was cool. I bet you all feel that way too. Now running is cool, and it is getting the coverage that it deserves. But I thought that the coverage, even just year over year, way better.
Yeah, it was just fun to hear some of the athletes too. So they had Clayton Young.
That was cool.
And their coach, Ed Eyestone, commenting. Kira D'Amato was also commenting. So just getting actual in-depth conversations from elite athletes while they're also watching this competition. It was just fun. It's a spectacle to us to watch these people run this fast, but then to hear the commentary from athletes of their kind, giving even more context to it. Like you said, it was just top notch to listen to and to watch.
If we throw this to HYROX, Jake Dearden going for 2:19 marathon, roughly?
Yeah.
That's like 30, 40 seconds slower per mile times 26 miles. Like, it's just another level at what the pro runners can do.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about that. I mean, not to glaze him too much, but the best runner I know here in Milwaukee is probably Dawson. And Dawson was telling me that if he trained for it and gave it everything he got, he could maybe do 440 mid, maybe 440 low. And Jack, what did you say they went through the 5K at? 13 what?
13:50. It was sub 14.
I mean, that first mile was 4:30 pace.
It's unreal.
It's so nasty.
Most of the time, it's not smart to run sub 14 when you have 23 more miles to go afterwards.
Yeah.
I was joking with Kent. I was like, dude, their 4:45 pace looks like my 9:15 pace. They did not look labored. It's clean, but it's impressive. I mean, we're not going to spend too much time on this because that's not the purpose of the show, but I mean, it was fun. It was fun to watch. And they were on Kiplimo was on world record pace
Yeah.
for 22 miles. Like when they got to the halfway mark, I was like, surely they're going to start fading. And he held on, and that he's going to be exciting to watch. This was only his second marathon.
Yeah, when they were announcing that, I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's insane.
he's medaled at the 10K on the track at the Olympics, and he might still be the world record holder.
He's
for
a
half
he's a
marathon.
he is the world record holder for half marathon, and he is a world cross country champion.
Okay.
I can
Yeah.
run. I can run. But the story for the Americans was Connor Mantz. You know what? I respect it. He talked about this in his post-race interview. He said he was going to go for the record, and he basically made the point of like, I could say it and put myself out there, or I could not say it, but everybody knew I was going for it, so might as well own it. And you know what? I love that.
Yeah.
Dude was just full of I don't know if I can say this on this show, just like piss and vinegar. If you heard that phrase, like just put himself in it, went for it. It was awesome. I mean, I still don't think he's reached his potential, but he's 27.
Well, he went to
28?
BYU, so he's probably 40 now. But
No, he's young though.
I'm messing with you because all the
No, I know you.
college.
No, I know you are, but like I know that's true, but I think
Yeah, I don't think he's over
young.
30.
Yeah, he's 28.
Yeah.
So he's 28. So he's still got a long career to go. He's getting better. I mean, we're talking at this point like a second at a time, but like you got to think 204 low, 203 maybe. I mean, pretty crazy, and a great season for him. I mean, obviously he, or I shouldn't say obviously, but for those you don't follow, he ran I think he ran a 205.08 in Boston, which technically was faster than Canucci's time. But for those of you that don't follow marathoning, Boston is ineligible for record purposes because it's point to point and net downhill, which is, I actually didn't realize that Boston was net downhill because everyone talks about how hard it is because of Heartbreak Hill, but it is a net downhill course, so it's not eligible. But the future of marathoning in the U.S. is it's in good hands.
It's becoming exciting seeing. I was just going to say, it's becoming exciting seeing the Americans compete at the top level now. I think we're seeing that more and more, them break into like competition with the best of the best in the world, and it's definitely getting more exciting.
I thought he was gonna. I thought he had a chance for a second. I thought he had a chance to get top 3.
He was very
so close.
Yeah, I mean that's like a strategy of 440 mile and 430 mile in your first one, right? Like that.
Yeah, you gotta
break the difference.
Yeah, Michelle and I were talking that before the show. You gotta wonder if that may have been the difference at the end. Obviously, he broke the record. He took the record, and that was great. But man, 4:30 to start is a blistering pace to go out at. So anyway, cannot wait for the next one. Okay, I want to see Clayton run again. I want to see him. I want to see my guy run.
I think he announced Valencia. I think is what
That's
next
a fast
for him.
course.
Yeah.
Got to put it through Jack's butt to be sure.
Yep.
All right. That wouldn't be something? Jack's butt for marathoning. All right. Let's talk newcomers. Jack has been gracious enough to build us a little spreadsheet, as only Jack Bauer can. And we are going to talk through who to watch for on the men's and women's side. Jack, since you are the man with these stats, where do you want to start?
Let's start with the ladies. They usually run first of the majors, so might as well talk about them first.
You want to share your screen?
I am doing that right now. Shared.
Bam. All right, Jack, you want to let us know what we're looking at here?
So we are looking at a table of the top 2 times for every single athlete who has made her debut in the past 1 year from today. So basically since Amsterdam, the major last season. And it's ranked from fastest average to slowest average. You can see Emily Dahman with a 61.10 and a 61.11. She's got the fastest average. And this just kind of goes through. And as I'm looking at this, it's kind of remarkable how many names at the top have already made a major or are just on the cusp.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Why don't we do it this way? We'll start with Michelle. Michelle, what are the two names on this list that stick out to you?
Yeah. So I think just in terms of the ones that we've seen, I feel like recently, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Gabrielle Nakora Baker is the one that just recently won Boston.
Yeah, her
Okay.
results are on the right.
Okay,
here.
thank you. Yes, I'm like looking at it's overwhelming to look at. So
Yeah,
that name stuck out to me because I was just in Boston competing, and I feel like I didn't recognize that name, but when you see an hour 54 seconds as the winning time, that was incredibly impressive. So exciting to see that she has a couple great times and is I don't know where she sits on the leaderboard currently, but she's got to be in line for the next major.
I can pull that.
I mean, if Stephanie Oswald just ran in a major and she's ranked above Stephanie, she's
Yeah,
got to
that's
be
it's an
there.
easy way to do it. There, thank you, Jack. But yeah, I mean, again, like you're saying,
She is currently 13th.
there you go.
So she's 13th at 101.39. The cut line, if you want to knock Stephanie Oswald out, you gotta be better than a 62.02. You gotta be better than 62.03.
Unreal.
So, I mean, listen, if there's one thing I've learned about HYROX, there's no such thing as a sure thing when it comes to time. So we have no idea what's about to happen in the next 5 weeks. Is it 5 weeks from today? No, it's got to be longer than that because it's early December.
Yeah, today's the 13th. So
Yeah, so 3 weeks, probably 8 weeks, probably 8 weeks out. I mean, a lot could change here, but we're probably 6 weeks from having to declare. I would venture to bet that she is fairly safe. And look, she's been super impressive. She, kind of jumped on the scene doing doubles back in 2024. Doubles. And then she finally ran a pro solo in Sydney this year with the 63.22. She followed that up in Perth with that 62.24, and then obviously followed that up in Boston with a 60.54. I mean, this is someone who you've got to think, just based on trajectory, she's got sub 60 potential.
I mean,
And if you got sub 60 potential, you're a threat.
Yeah, and these 3 races are what, within the span of 6 months? Like, she hasn't even been racing a full year yet pro, and she's already knocking this amount of time off. That's incredibly impressive. So, yeah, that name definitely stuck out to me for someone to watch very quickly.
And the thing that I feel that's promising about her, Sydney and Perth, opposite sides of Australia, Boston, opposite side of the world, she can travel and race. So if she gets the last minute call up to any one of these majors, 2 weeks notice, if a couple other moves happen and she's in that top 15 or gets a roll down, I don't think she's going to be as affected by the travel because she's proven that she can do it. She set her PR traveling on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking up her. I wasn't really familiar with her game. She was a bodybuilder.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so completely different.
Completely different. She got into fitness through bodybuilding competitions, and then she became a trainer after that. And when you think of bodybuilders, you don't necessarily think of wheels, although shout out to friend of the show, one Jack Driscoll. He's done some bodybuilding and he's got some wheels. I'm assuming this is her. I don't know how many Gabrielle Nakora Bakers there can be, but on World Athletics, she put down a 36:29 10K time.
Yeah, I mean, that's solid. So there's got to be some endurance background in there that we just don't know about quite yet.
Yeah, maybe we can see if we can get our friends down at Hybrid Sport Media if they haven't already, to do an expose on her. If not, maybe we can get her on the show. But yeah, I mean, this is someone who, I mean, she's dropped some. I mean, she's also dropped some crazy doubles times.
So what were they? Do we know?
She did, in Sydney, she did a 55.38 with Jordan Nakora Baker, and 55.38. I think that was only second. That had to be the race that Joanna and Jess won. And that's got to be a top 5 time of all time.
I was going to say, is that we're talking about women's pro doubles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, sorry, that was her husband that she did that
Okay,
with.
I was gonna
apologize.
say unless it was mixed doubles, but that's
I was
still
like, whoa.
55 is still very impressive.
Yeah, my okay, sorry, I can't read. Back up, beep beep, back up the bus. Let me apologize. Live on air. Okay. She ran a 57.53 in Bangkok with Nicola Georgia Macbeth. That is the same partner that she competed in the Elite 15 doubles with in Chicago. They ran a 59.34. She ran a 55.38 with her husband. So, you know, she's got wheels. And then, yeah, I mean, these times are, they're cooking.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
All right. Who else, Michelle? What other name sticks out to you on this list?
Let's see. I'm trying to go for people that we maybe haven't touched upon yet. So I actually don't know if I'm familiar with Kat Parnell either, but that's another name that's in the top 10 here. So let's see her stats.
Right here.
That's Fassbender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back-to-back
Kat
cats.
Parnell. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, again, a lot of recent times.
Yeah, best time
done.
62.50 in Glasgow, 66 at Worlds, and then a 60. London 1, London 2. That's confusing. Okay, so those two most recent times are going to be that 66 at Worlds and that 62.50 at Glasgow.
Yeah.
Yeah. She has won 2 races though. And even if the times aren't, you know, super fast compared to what we're seeing in the Elite 15, if she won with a 65.42 in London, you know how many people show up to London. That is a difficult race to win, just given the participation. So I'm impressed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And with that little amount of time, just to go from like a 65 to a 62, like there's again that like rise in potential once you start to get into the swing of things with racing more frequently.
Yeah. The interesting thing is that she raced, this was Jade Skillen's partner in Hamburg for that elite race.
Got it. Okay.
Which is confusing because that's their first race together.
That can't be right.
I know it doesn't. Oh, it's because her other name was Catherine Parnell.
Okay, so it's like a glitch in the system there.
Yeah, she just put something different down. Yeah, so they ran a 57.42 at Worlds, and then ran 59.03 in Hamburg.
If you look what she did in World Championship, she got 13th in the 30 to 34 age group. She was in the low 30s if you add up all the different age groups, but she was 4 seconds behind Zara Piergiani, who we know her credentials, and Rebecca Hammond, 66.52. She ended up beating her by about 23 seconds, and Rebecca's had a pretty solid history on the US side. So I think that she can throw her hat in the mix.
Yeah. And having any of the elite experience already definitely plays a factor into this once you get to that for, your individual. So that's pretty cool to see that she's already been there for elite doubles.
Yeah. Yeah. She's going to have to, she's going to have to work some of these, just for what it's worth. She's going to have to work some of these times down. She's obviously shown that she's capable of. I think what do we say the line was? 62.04. So she's going to have to put another one down. But those are some pretty fast doubles times. And as you said, Jack, she's competitive with some names that the community knows. So definitely someone to watch out for. Jack, what are the 2 names that stick out to you?
Ignoring, Sinead, Melanie, Emily, just because we've talked about them in their previous episodes. I would say I was very impressed with Carolyn Watkins. I did DEKA Fit Austin, and she was up front in a race that featured Vivian, and she just was a very impressive athlete. I would say, like, so you know how you can just look and you're like, that person is made for this. She just had the look. And you could see her times right there running a 61.33 and 63.36.
She was another Boston one, I think, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second place just behind Gabrielle, who we mentioned right before. But
that was a fair course.
Yeah,
it was. Fair.
Yep. Eighth fastest age grouper out of everybody at Chicago last year. And I don't know her individual division
that was
there.
A tough race.
Yeah.
Those carpets, man.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah. So. Less than ideal.
Less than ideal. Yeah,
So-
I mean, this is look. Anybody who is, I think it's probably fair to say at this point, anybody who's dropping sub 62,
Right.
especially sub 62 on a normal weekend course on the women's field, like
Mhm.
that's someone you got to watch out for.
Totally.
I think that it's probably fair to say any woman on this list who's got a sub 62 on any course not named Berlin, or New York City, because I'm fair and balanced reporting here. That's a legit time you got to contend with.
You would
So
imagine too that when these women or men too, but when they're running these on their own, it could potentially be a time trial. Like they might not have competition in this race. They're just kind of putting down these times. So imagine what it's going to be like once they actually get into the elite competition and are pushed even further. That's what excites me the most. Like I feel like a lot of these they're kind of running on their own if they don't have the particular competition, which we know it's a challenge for HYROX to put all of the top times together. But obviously that makes a difference when they're new too and they don't have that many. So yeah.
I can't decide. I really can't decide if maybe here's like a fun little tangent for us to go down. Would you rather run alone in time trial, or would you rather race with the competition and try to be pulled along?
I think it depends on what your goal is. Like if you're an
Fair.
emerging elite 15 or if you want to get into the elite 15, I would say that you're going to want the competition there because that's what you're going to face when you get there. When you're time trialing, you're just kind of trying to put together a race that you feel like you've done in training. All you have to do is just put it on the day, but that's without any competition and that's not necessarily going to prepare you for the top. So I would say if we're talking about the emerging elite, which is what we're talking about, they probably should have the competition, right? To get the most out of themselves.
The only way to get to the point where you can face that elite competition is by having a fast time and doing it on your own. Who hasn't done a time trial on the track or the roads during a workout? And then you hop and you sign up for a 5K road race and suddenly you're 20 seconds faster than you were by yourself. Like having all those around you, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I could see it going both ways. Cause on the one hand, like if you don't, it's almost like there could be a mental thing of like, you just run the race that's in front of you. So, if you know that there's good competition in the field and maybe you don't push as hard as you do of like, hey, I got to get a time. But then I also, going back to the marathon, I think about what Connor Mance said yesterday, which is Connor likes to run from the front and he couldn't, but that pulled him along because he didn't want to detach.
Yeah.
So, and then I think back to that men's race in Hamburg where Dearden got 15th and he was, what was it, 58 mid? It was either 58 mid or 57 mid.
I think
the
everybody broke 58.
Yeah, the 15th fastest time was almost good enough to count to score for you. Something to think about. Something to think about. All right, Jack. Sorry, I got away from you.
All good.
Who else?
The other woman, Kat Fossbender. We already talked about one Kat. Let's talk about the American one. Kat is going to make a difference this year. She got third place at Chicago at World Championship out of all of the age groups combined, running a 62.53. She was 3 seconds behind Morgan Schultz who ended up winning that age group. And I personally think that Kat is going to end up in a major later this season.
Yeah, agreed. I've had a bunch of opportunities to race with Kat, and she is impressive. She's going to continue to excel. She's really only just getting started. And that individual race in Chicago, I think kind of sealed the deal for what she can do when she has her day. So looking forward to seeing what the rest of her season kind of plans to be for her.
+1 to everything that everyone said. Love Kat Fossbender. Amazing human being. Great person to talk to. She's a good friend. My question for the two of you, and this is not about Kat specifically, although it's going to feel like it is, kind of is a little bit. Do you think we're at the point where, do you think someone like Kat needs to make, we can't tell athletes what they should do, but do you feel like this is the year where maybe Kat needs to go all in on HYROX? And the reason why I say that is because I know she's going for the DEKA Fit world title, and she's going to be great at that. It's going to be a good race with Lauren Griffith and Vivian presumably. But kind of going back to what we were just saying, like she has put up some really strong times, and that 62.53 is nothing to sniff at. But like, as we're looking down this list, like we're seeing women put down those sub 62s and sub 61s. You know, if you are someone like Kat, is this the time where you go all in on HYROX? Because I mean, a minute is nothing to sniff at, right? Like you got to drop a minute off your time. Like that's pretty steep.
I think the good thing about Kat and being a US based athlete is we've had a long break. So now you're having Dallas, Chicago, Atlanta. We're entering the season where she's going to have multiple chances to throw down a fast time, work on her strategy. You know, maybe she runs a 63 in her next race, 63 high, and then she's like, maybe I need to go out faster or pace things a little bit differently. She'll have the opportunity to have multiple races to get into that lower time area.
For sure. Yeah, I think she only has the potential to continue to get better as she explores, strategy and what works best for her. But in terms of going all in or not, I honestly think it depends on the person, right? Like if going all in makes you feel too much pressure because you gave up everything else that, made you happy in life or was a part of your life, it could go either way. If you're someone that does have the time to train the way that you want to, and you can do your full-time job or whatever else you got going on, it might be okay just to stick with it as is, because I feel like a lot of people just need to be patient with their training and it's going to continue to work, right? So I truly think it depends on the person and what is going to work best for them stress-wise, if that's going to make it more or less stressful by going all in on that. I personally feel like it's nice to have other things outside of training because it does put a lot of pressure on it. And it can sometimes take the enjoyment out of it if you're really only thinking about this one thing and you don't have other outlets to kind of take a load off, I guess, the mental side of things.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I guess the reason for the question is because this week, our friends over at RMR training, had this same discussion about like some of the new folks racing too much. I think Meg actually made the point of, or not I think, I know Meg made the point of every time you race, it's a racing doesn't improve your fitness. It might improve the skill of racing, but if you want to do it right, you've got to taper into it, and then you've got to recover. You know, there's travel involved. It's hard on the system, all of those things. And I totally agree and hear what you're saying, Michelle. Like, I love racing because to me, racing is the reward. I think though, to Jack, something that Jack said that I think sometimes is problematic for us here in the States is we are getting more races, which is great. They're almost always condensed, meaning like they're like right up against each other. So we had Boston and Toronto on back-to-back weekends, and then we're going to have Chicago and Dallas on back-to-back weekends. And then it's only 2 more weeks after that until Anaheim. So it's like there's 3 races happening in a 5-week time frame. You can't improve your fitness that much. And then if you want to go to Vancouver, that's 2 weeks after that. And, they were talking about how like, I think that's kind of the heart of my question is like, you're totally right. Like maybe she doesn't want to go or would take Kat out of it. Maybe people don't want to go all in, but I think that's kind of the question though, right? It's like, is this going to be something where, is this something where you can kind of have your foot in both? Cause I think it's probably fair to say at this point, the list of athletes that are actually able to compete at the top across both is actually a very small list of people, right? Like if you like right now on the women's side, it's Lauren and Vivian. And then on the men's side, currently it would be, there's no one that's in the elite field in both on the men's side right now. Keep me honest, Jack.
You got Grayson,
Tom Rogers, but he's not in the elites right now. Grayson, I know you listen to the show. I'm rooting for you. I hope you get in. That's not shade.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of athletes who've either been in Elite 15 or Elite 15 doubles, but
so historically, Rylan, Ryan, Rich, Dylan, and anybody else, and Tom Rogers. So 5 guys historically that have been able to do both.
Yeah.
And then for a while we had Tara So you have what? And then Meg did it briefly. So probably like 5 and 5. So
Small list.
yeah, small list. So anyway, all right. Interesting. Let us know in the comments. Are we at the point of specialization? I think yes. All right, I'll do my 2, and then we can move on to the dudes. Look, I think that I said this in the lead up to Worlds, and I still believe it. Give me Margot Vane and Lyndon Loof as someone to watch out for. Her and Charlotte have done a ton of high-level racing. They're age group world champions. They raced in the Elite 15 doubles last year. They've got a ton of experience. And like I said, anyone who can drop a 61 is someone that you got to watch out for. They're still young. I think that they might, if they're not in the 16 to 24 age group anymore, they're just aged out of it. So she's got a long career ahead of her. I think that she races hard. And they've just got experience, right? And like we'll get to this in a second, but like I feel like that experience eventually catches up. You look at like the ascension of Dylan Scott, and then you look at like Charlie Bottrell as an example. Like I just don't think she's gonna get shaken by the moment. I think it's someone that is someone that definitely got to watch out for.
She's listed with 26 races, so solo and doubles. That's
wow,
a lot of
a lot of racing.
Yeah. That definitely counts for something. Like it's the experience alone. Definitely is. I feel like is a good advantage. You just get to. I feel like you just get to know your own pacing strategy best by racing that much. You got to figure it out.
And she was in the 25 to 29 age group in one of her pro solo, or a couple of them so far. So I think she's leveled up.
Yeah. Yeah. And then for my other person to watch out for, I think, Jack, if you said this, I'm sorry, because I'm also getting overwhelmed by the names. So please keep me honest. Did you talk about Gloria?
No.
No.
She was.
Okay.
I was gonna go her or Kat, but
perfect. Okay.
Gloria has to be mentioned.
Yeah, give me Gloria Corbetta. She was first overall at Chicago, the Italian, with a 62.26. She followed that up with a 62.18 in the Rome race, and that puts her going into Melbourne. She is 18th, so she very well could get. She very well could get a roll down. I don't know. I know that Lauren is definitely going. I don't know if Sinead will be healthy at that point or not, although she is running again. But
we know Vivian's not going.
Okay, so Vivian's definitely not going. So yeah, I mean, she could very well get a roll down spot, and then if you get a roll down spot, you never know what's going to happen. She also recently raced in that same Rome weekend that she raced 3 times that weekend in Rome. But in addition to dropping a 62.18, where she took first overall, she also raced with Camila, and they ran a 56.34. So she's got wheels.
Absolutely, and consistency.
Yeah, yeah. My wild card, the other person that I would like, going back to the conversation of all in, Jack, if you want to scroll up, the person on this list that I would love to see go all in, she's not going to do it, I would imagine at this point, but I would love to see Lucy Davis go all in on HYROX. She kind of reminds me, Jack, Michelle, let me know if this is a fair comp. She kind of feels to me like the British Katie Knight. You know what I mean?
Jack could talk more to that. I'm not familiar.
She just
Katie
feels
Knight
like
can do like ultra hybrid, just get jack of all trades.
Yeah.
And that kind of feels like Lucy at this point. She did the BPN last man standing. She ran 108 miles. I believe she ran a sub-3 marathon.
She's a swimmer, right? Like,
yeah, she is a swimmer. She ran a 65. I think that 65:30 is from Chicago, but that was literally they ran that BPN Ultra on Memorial Day weekend. So Worlds was 2 to 3 weeks later. So she ran a 65:30 after running 108 miles in an ultra. Like, I mean, that's crazy stuff. And every time, you know, she has put down a pretty good time before she came over and she ran the open, which I think she dropped like a 50. I don't remember what it was. It's like a 58 or something. Like, she's got wheels. I just think that, like, based on her brand now, there's no reason for her to go all in on HYROX because she's got a lot of things going and whatnot and brand deals. But it is someone who, like, these are very impressive times for someone who is a jack of all trades.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen her full potential because of that, because she's
100%.
involved in so many different awesome races, and the fact that she's this competitive. I definitely think we'll see more of her. It's just a matter of when. I don't think it's an if. So
yeah, I do think that we have to give a quick shout out to Molly Eamond. If she gets into the field for the next major in Australia, that is an athlete who can run, and we've already seen that earlier this year, first major. If you can run, you can make a difference in this. And her run split was run plus rocks 32-30 in Chicago.
Whoa.
So
That's
she
legit.
averaged sub 6-minute pace, 343 per kilometer. That's an
impressive.
athlete who can run.
All right, before we go on to the dudes, last disclaimer. I shouldn't have to, but I'm going to. We obviously think that Emily Dahmen, Sinead Bent, and Melanie Maurer are badasses. The reason why we did not call them out, despite the fact that they're the top three, is because we have talked about those three athletes at length on this show, and I don't know if I would consider them to be a true newcomer. So before you come at us in the comments, go look at our historical shows. We are big fans of those three. They are definitely, I mean, the one person who I will say just really quickly on this is, like, if Sinead returns to form, that is someone who is going to be problematic for the field this year.
Yeah, she burst onto the scene late in the last chance qualifier, so she's got a lot more for sure.
I definitely book it. Sinead is going sub 60 this year if she's healthy.
But New Year's resolution for you, you got to stop apologizing so much.
You know what? I when people stop having feelings, I'll stop apologizing.
Although you doubled down last week, so
on to the dudes. On to the dudes. We are we are gonna. This is about to be a Heineck. This is about to be a Heineck love fest.
Purposely put him at number
We're
one.
making Jack go last. We're making Jack go last.
Heineck just won the Spartan Sprint World Championship last weekend.
We're not talking.
He's had his moment.
Turn. My turn. We're not talking about Heineck yet. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and take the obvious one off the board, other than Heineck. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there as well. Emilio Aguayo is someone that we have also talked about at length. He he competed last year in the Elite 15. Strong athlete. We have spent quite a bit of time talking about Emilio. That's BK's guy. So if you're wondering why I'm not going to mention Emilio, it's because of that.
If you're running a major, you're off.
Yeah, for sure. So that leaves for me, because I will never be able to do Heineck justice like Jack. Give me Josh Van Zeeland. I mean, look, this guy's legit. Like, he's legit. His first pro race, he ran a 60 flat in Brisbane this year. Last year, he did Melbourne. He ran the Open. He did 56.47 in his very first race. Bonkers. Runs a 60 flat in Brisbane. Follows that up by taking third overall at Chicago Age Group Championships with the 57.39. Just a couple of weeks later, goes down to Sydney, drops a 55.20, and then races Perth and drops a 57.17. Jack, is there an athlete who has a better 4-race debut than Josh Van Zeeland?
I don't know if you want me to say his name, but redefining it, maybe. But yeah, no, I realistically, all right. So he's got a 55.20 for his 4 best. I don't know Emilio's start, but besides that 54.35 in Berlin, a lot of his were in the 58s. I'm I'm thinking that Josh probably has the best 4-race debut.
Yeah, I'm looking at JK because he'd be the one that would probably be the closest that I could think of. JK ran a 59.53 in his first race. Shout out JK. That's legit. 59.01, 58.36, and then he ran 60.12 in Manchester. Josh has got him. Josh has got him. The question will be that we have, and I don't know, it looks like we may have gotten an update on this call, is he is living in New Zealand, but he is not, or no, he's living in Perth, but he is not an Aussie. He's from Luxembourg. So is he going to race in Europe or is he going to race in down under? I don't know.
I think he's in that Europe, Middle East, Africa division for regional championship. Unless he has a passport. But I don't know about the passport thing. I thought it was where is your birth certificate from? Because you could have a passport in multiple regions and suddenly, like a Gabe Heck, for instance, living in Thailand. I'm assuming that he has citizenship over there. He's lived there for a while, but he was born in Wisconsin. So should he?
Yeah, I'm not really sure how it works because I believe that Camila can race
DC
and Europe. So I don't know what I don't know what the rule is on that. I think you just have to have. I thought it was you have to have a passport.
That's what I thought it was.
But I don't know. I don't know. So
we'll find out.
We'll find out. But either way, regardless of where he races, he's coming. Right?
The two athletes who beat him at age group world champs in Chicago, Harry Thompson, Sean Noble, both of them have run a major before. Not bad company for your, at that point, what was it, his second or third ever race?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he like legit. And that men's age group field in Chicago was loaded with talent. So great racing by him. I'm curious, Jack, did you not put Charlie on this because he's raced Elite 15 doubles?
These are only athletes who have made their debut in the past year with the pro division.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Even
since
though the kid
October,
is like,
mid-October 2024.
Even though I don't even know if he could legally drink in the US until like a year ago. All right, we'll skip. We'll skip past. All right. Then my second name to watch out for is Franz Laschke. These are legit times. 56.43, 57.32. I think the thing that impresses me the most about Franz,
lots of races here.
Yeah, and if you look at his progression, I don't put a ton of stock into that 62.55 at Worlds just because reasons. You just never know what's going on there. But he had several quick times this year. Obviously Berlin was one, but Hamburg, that's a legit race. The 57.32, that's a legit time. And these are times that we're seeing some of the historical big names. I mean, I think for the men at this point, like if the line for women is sub 62, like if that makes you a threat, I think that anyone who can go sub 50, I think 57 is probably the line for men. Does that seem fair?
Threat to make a major or just
yeah,
I'd say that's kind of the cutoff at this point.
Like if you can go below 57, like you're someone that like people got to watch out for
in like a standard race.
In a standard race,
non-grid. Yep.
Yeah,
and he may
non-grid sub 57 is crazy.
He may have run a 56.43 in Berlin, but you're right. Hamburg and Cologne running within 45 seconds of that roughly in Hamburg and another 58 in Cologne. Berlin, we make fun of that course all the time, but we don't make fun of Hamburg or Cologne. And he still pulled off some really fast times there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Hamburg, I think when you put Hamburg through your calculations, I think you decided it was a pretty fair course.
I'd have to look it up, but I think it was like maybe 1% fast.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah, it wasn't an extreme outlier.
All right, Michelle.
I'm up. I'm also like laughing to myself, realizing how dark it looks over here because it's getting very dark.
Yeah,
So
we need daylight savings ASAP.
I know. I'm gonna attempt to fix that after I speak. But yeah, I truthfully, these names are all pretty new to me, so it's cool to see how many people have made such a splash so quickly. But one name that I do remember someone throwing in the race brain chat was Gustav Cordua. So bring up those times, because the thing that impresses me the most about the two that were on there is that they were like significantly different. So I feel like his trajectory is going to get like faster and faster. So I just wanted to see all of his times. Yeah, there's
He's
only
done
these
two,
two,
and they're in like the past month.
so that again, like that's a very big like piece that's telling to me, because you just went from a 58-51 to a 56-59, and you've only got a couple in you. That means you're still just figuring this race out, and you're going to continue to get better and better at your race strategy, and you're going to pop an awesome time. So I think this guy is someone to watch out for because of just those two races and how different they are. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have any more insight into him.
Yeah.
He's so young.
How old is he?
Listen to this. His first race was Hamburg 2022. He ran a 63.06. It was in the 16 to 24 age group. Doesn't touch it for 3 years.
God.
Doesn't touch it for 3 years. Comes back and races Oslo 58-51. He's still in that 16 to 24 age group. So the dude is young.
Wow.
And he's dropping 56s.
Yeah.
So I've spent a few weeks with Gustav through the years. He's won Dubai Games a couple times. I saw him in Saudi Arabia earlier this year. He's an OCR guy. Crazy strong. Fantastic runner. I think that he broke 16 in a 5K earlier this year, and he's only progressing at this point. And like you mentioned, he's young. I, after spending a bunch of time with him, would never have suspected that he is a sub 57 HYROX guy in his second race. Unbelievably impressive. I knew he could run. I knew he's got a ton of grip strength and really proficient mover for OCR. I had no idea that he could move a sled, do wall balls, lunges, everything. Like, he is gonna be a problem when he puts it, or when he gets a couple more opportunities. I personally think that he could find himself in the Elite 15 for Europe only at the European, the Middle East, Africa Championships later this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. His if I'm doing math right here, his run plus rock zone in Hamburg was 31.16. That's pretty legit. What were the
5:45 pace?
Yeah, what were the elites? Like Rich and Dylan were like 30-40. Is that right?
If you were sub 31, that was like front of the pack.
Wow.
So he's running as well as everybody else. And in his second race,
on a crowded course.
Yeah, a little bit slower.
Yeah, and like looking at, I mean, he's still got some areas that he could improve. 349 ski, 236 push, those are good. 346 pull, maybe he's got a little bit of time there. 236 burpees, 356 row, 140 farmers, 313 lunges, pretty good. 407 wall balls. I mean, between sled pull and wall balls, he's still got time.
You got a minute.
Yeah.
The only thing that kind of scares me a little bit about him, there is a prototypical body type that works in HYROX, and it tends to be a little bit taller athlete. And I would say he's probably about 5'10". So he's not the biggest guy, maybe 5'9".
Don't worry about us. Don't worry about us.
Greg from the Rocks Life, he had one of those, an article, and he was going over the average medium height and everything. And I think that it was only Rich and James Kelly who were 5'10" or 5'11" on the shorter end. So most of the time you're over 6 feet, but he's proven in a couple races that it doesn't matter what his size is.
Yeah, I think there's always going to be outliers to the average.
100%. This guy's dropping sub 57. Put some respect on my man's name. All right. Michelle, you're up again, right?
Yeah. I was going to say, let's take a look into Alexis Bernier, number 5 on this list.
Bernier.
I feel like Bernier. Thank you. As I say, I saw a bunch. So this is kind of the opposite of my last pick, where you got someone who races a lot, and there's a lot of 2025s on here. But to get down to a 56, 59 average. You got
Figured
to be
it
doing
out.
something right. So yeah, don't know too much about these guys. So if you guys have more insight, let's talk about him for a little bit.
Yeah, I was going through results this weekend, and he ended up winning Gdansk. And so just winning a race at this point, year 8 of HYROX, that is very difficult to do. And he's another athlete who dropped a sub 57 in Berlin. It's like, oh, what's that really mean? But when you run in the 57s at a different course later on, that to me shows that you've made a massive improvement, and your time in Berlin, while it was likely fast, wasn't just a fluke, because running sub 58 is the real deal.
Yeah, and also like though out of all of
Did
those
he
times,
did he run Gdansk, or because I'm looking at high result and it looks like he ran the 57:49 is from Geneva.
Oh, maybe I wrote the wrong race then on that. I probably coded it wrong. But
Yeah, because Charlie won Gdansk.
Okay.
But those 2 times, like the rest of his times, I think were over an hour. So yeah, like to just very quickly get those, something has changed. So I think that's pretty promising for him to have gotten those, like you said, a very fast time on a non-outlier course.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and like I do think that there's something to be said about it's tough, right? Because it's a catch-22. I agree with the RMR squad that there's a point of racing too much. However, we are now starting to see some of these athletes that have raced HYROX a lot, that have 40 plus races, and they're figuring it out. Like it's almost like there's a point of, it's like, hey, you know how to manage effort better. You've done enough pro races, and like you just kind of one day put it together. I still think that the sport is too new to know like what the right amount is, but like it's hard to argue. Like guy was putting up, these are all, but for the record, these are all very respectable times. He ran a 64:58 in the LCQ. Then he drops some like 57:49 is legit.
Yeah,
it's legit time.
The other thing too about the like racing a lot, I think it again depends on your goal of what you're trying to do. Like, I think if you're just trying to break into the Elite 15, racing a lot makes sense. But once you're in it, it doesn't make as much sense because you want to be fresh for those races. So I think it does make sense to see a lot more racing from the people who are like on the cusp and very close to getting in. You might as well just take a shot. But also some of these races might be closer together than our issue, for example, having the races too close together and then like, the travel is a little bit crazy.
Yeah, there's always going to be outliers, like to your point,
Yeah.
right? Like guys like tell Dylan Scott and James Kelly that they race too much.
Yeah.
Okay. They're doing just fine.
Yeah.
Dylan posted he's after his 10K that he just did a couple days after traveling internationally. He's like, yeah, taking a little bit of time off before Atlanta, or it's like Atlanta's in 3 weeks. What are you talking? That's not time off.
Yeah. Charlie Bottrell has raced 50 times. Like, I mean, there's always going to be outliers. All right, Jack. We already know where this is going.
We following the same rule that we gave the women's field. We're not allowed to talk about people who've run in the Elite 15. Should I skip Hynek? Yes or no?
No, you can't. We can't. That's your boy. We can't let you skip your guy.
I've been saying it since last season. Richard Hynek won the Spartan Race World Championship in the sprint distance this past weekend, just in dominating fashion. They had a nasty sandbag carry, log carry. He just whooped everybody. He won by like a minute and a half in a 37-minute race. He can outrun everybody in the field. He's looking big. The thing that impressed me the most was he was like, I'm done with OCR after this season. He's going all in on HYROX. Wait until the spring comes around, because look at the results that he has run. How many of those races? 5 of his 6 races that he has run this year have been 1 hour. He just did HYROX. And let's not forget, he just did a major. Was he 9th place in that? 9th or 10th?
10th?
Yeah.
Top 10 for sure.
55:48. Actually, yeah, looks like 9th place. 55:48 is a fantastic debut in the first major of the season, when pretty much everybody thinks they still have a chance this season, so they're still showing up. I don't know how you can't be impressed with the guy, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean he's firmly in. I mean he's firmly in the Elite 15. His average time for Melbourne is 55:43. The cut line is
He's going to it, by the way.
Yeah, the cut line is 50. Dearden is 15th with 56:15. So he's 30 seconds, 32 seconds below the cut line. That's going to be tough to shake. And those times are made up of Hamburg, which just happened, and then Berlin, which happened in mid-May. Those times aren't dropping. So he's probably safe. We are starting to see some quick times, but like we're not seeing many people go sub 55:30. And we're not seeing a lot of people go sub 56. So it's probably fair to say that Hynek is going to be there. To Jack's point, he's a decorated OCR athlete. If he goes all in on this, he probably will be successful. I just am not willing to give Jack's love of OCR the time of day. But Hynek is definitely someone to watch out for.
Michelle chose Gustav.
Yeah, it's cool to see another OCR athlete do so well, right? Like we've obviously seen, Ryland do so well. He was very impressive in OCR, so it's interesting to see another top name be as impressive in HYROX as well. And the fact that you said that he's going to go all in, that's a pretty bold. So we'll see.
Well, let's not forget this sport was made on the backs of OCR legends. Hunter, a lot of people listening to this show now that just got into HYROX in the last couple of years may not realize that Hunter was once one of the biggest names, if not the biggest name in OCR.
Yeah.
So that's how long it's been.
He was always in the argument for is he the 5th or 4th best OCR athlete of all time until probably like 2018 or 19. And then some new faces came in, but for the first 8 or 9 years of OCR, Hunter was in that contention.
All right. Jack's about to get so excited because we're about to turn this into an OCR show. Jack, who is your second pick?
My second guy, I don't know what is in the water in Spain, but Pablo Sanchez Santos has been drinking it. That guy is a former 341 1500 runner. That converts to a 359.5 mile. You're a sub 4-minute miler yet less than 4 years ago, and you're already dropping a couple of 57.19 and a 58.38 in HYROX in your opening season. You're going to be a problem.
It's impressive. It's just incredible to see the styles of athletes that end up getting to the top of a HYROX list. These are awesome athletes and great stats. And that, again, is just like completely unlike any other ones. 359, my goodness.
That's stupid fast.
The other thing
four of his 5 races have been under 59.02, and he got 8th place in Chicago in all age groups combined.
Yeah, the other thing that I think that kind of sticks out to me about a lot of these names that we've talked about on both sides is just we're getting younger people coming in too, which I think is interesting. Look, I would never say that the old guard is on their way out. I would never say that, but I remember you all talking about this on Race Brain, like what would happen if some of these, like the younger generation, if like as HYROX is making a play towards younger, you get some of these like athletes that are maybe they are good milers, but they don't want to run in college, or maybe they don't want to do cross country or whatever it is, and then they start focusing on this at a younger age. And you look at people like Dylan, who did this through his early to mid 20s, and now he's at the top. Dylan's not even 30 yet, is he?
I think he just turned it.
Okay. Yeah.
Or he's about to. He either just turned 30 or he's about to turn 30. Now back that up, find some of these people that are on the younger side as they're coming up, like, and we got people dropping 57s, 56s, like that they're not even at peak testosterone yet. Like these times are gonna get crazy. Like the future is first off, the level of racing on the men's side right now is the field is so incredibly deep, which is awesome. But the future is also incredibly bright. Like you just look at this. If you look at Jack's top 20 newcomers that have debuted in the last year, the slowest time for a fast time is 59:04. That's insane. Like
Yeah.
it was just it was a what, 2 seasons ago that you could be right at the hour mark and be in the Elite 15.
And
Now
now
we
we
got
got
20
4.5
now we
minutes
got
faster than that.
yeah, now we got 20 guys and only one of them is in the Elite 15. Like that's
Two of
insane.
them, Emilio also, but yeah.
Oh, is he still in? I thought he was.
Oh, well, he just raced in the most recent one. That's what I was getting at.
He's at 14th. You're right. Okay, so 2 of them are. Yeah. So crazy. Crazy. All right. We did it right at an hour. Look at us. Let us know in the comments, who are the people that we should watch out for? Newcomers. Our criteria have debuted in the last year. Let us know who you think we missed. Let us know who you think we got it right. Jack, Michelle, always a pleasure. Until next time. Later.